This one, we have this keyboard down here and we have another keyboard up there, and everybody else is roaming around playing their instruments. So we reduce the orchestration, and all of the actors are playing their instruments. So they're singing, dancing, acting and playing. They're quadruple threats. They are so talented.
The beginning of the show, his family life at home isn't very good. It's a violent family.
Shut up, will you? Come on, can you watch the show, stupid? Eat! Go ahead!
Not very wealthy. He's supporting his family. His dad's not working, so he's only released from that is by going to the disco and dancing. And at the disco, he's the king. Like no one can touch him there, and that's his escape from his home life. As the show progresses, even that starts to get tainted, and there's nowhere for him to go. He can't even go to the disco to get away from his family because his life follows him there.
All my life, it's been the same. Treating me so cruel. There they go with their fancy lights, leaving me looking like some dumbstruck fool. Love talking is all very fine, yeah. Jive talking just isn't a crime. And if there's somebody you love till you die, then all that jive talking just gets in your eye.
This show is based more on the film rather than the first version of the musical that came out. It's gone back to the roots and how dark the film was, and I wanted to see that and get the ideas from there. But really, I created the character with experimenting with it in the rehearsal room with the director working with me, completely independently of what John Travolta would have done. Because by the time I'd seen the film, then I'd already created the character, so I couldn't really base it on what he'd already done.
He's a character that gets overlooked all the time. He's quite desperate, as his girlfriend Pauline, he's gotten her pregnant, and he keeps on trying to find a way out of it. He asks for her to get an abortion. He wants the Pope to give allow it. But all his friends, and they mock him. Tony ignores him, and he gets to quite a desperate place, really. So he's the overlooked, sensitive character. He slowly breaks Bobby. He starts as one of the faces, one of the lads, and scene by scene, he breaks a little bit more. And tragedy is a real breaking point, where he's asked for Tony's help. Tony ignores him, says he'll call him tonight. For me, I think Bobby knows he won't. And yeah, that song is a turning point. His last line is "No one cares," and he just realizes, and I think he accepts that at that moment that no one does care, no one will care.
And the pain don't go away. It opens up the door to yesterday.
Bobby is quite a juxtaposition to Tony, and Bobby is where Tony could have gone, and it's where what could have happened to Tony, and where his life was headed. So I think Bobby is almost the flip of the coin to Tony. He knows his life's going nowhere, and he can't do anything about it, whereas Tony is fighting and fighting and fighting to change it. Bobby fights, no one listens, he gives up. So I think the intention for him is to show the unsuccess of, you know, and I know Tony's fails in so many ways, but there is that glimmer of hope at the end that actually his life might be heading somewhere, whereas I think with Bobby and his point is he doesn't.
I'm strong enough to see it through. Go crazy is what I would do. I can't have you. I don't want nobody, baby. I can't have you. No. I can't have you. I don't want nobody, baby. I can't have you. No.
Yes, the style of the film is iconic, and the music was a huge part of making it relevant. So we've taken a lot of the original orchestrations from the Bee Gees and from all of the other artists who contributed to the original film, and we've gotten rid of the really clunky original sounds, and we've replaced it with a more contemporary musical theatre sound, while still making them sound like the songs that everybody knows and loves. You go into a club and everybody still loves hearing the Night Fever songs. Everybody loves hearing Disco Inferno. Everybody dances to them. The fact that those bits of music underscored the film and underscored the story of the film, it really spoke to that generation of people. And of course, as I said before, there are problems that are still faced by people today.
'Cause we're living in a world of